Hi everyone, welcome to another video. This time we revisit Tekken 3. It's been a while since I covered anything Tekken related, but I think this is a good topic to cover. And the topic for this video is Ogre's voice. Yeah, so back in the days of Tekken 1 and 2, characters didn't really speak actual words. You only heard the noises they made when performing moves, getting hit or dying. But when Tekken 3 came along, some characters would speak their very first words. For example, in one of Eddie Gordo's winning poses, he says, "Come on."
You win. Come on. Final round. Fight.
On a side note, he also does this weird laugh, which I always found really unnerving when I was younger.
You win.
Also, it was the first time that Yoshimitsu said his famous line, "Shikisoku Zeiku."
You win. Round 2. Fight.
This is a Zen Buddhist sutra, which I believe translates to either phenomena becomes emptiness, emptiness becomes phenomena, or form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Anyway, so the most interesting character to speak in Tekken 3 is arguably Ogre, or Ancient Ogre as he's come to be known. On first inspection, it sounds like he's speaking some kind of made up language.
You win. Round 2. Fight.
But Tekken fans later figured out that Ogre is actually speaking in Japanese, but also in reverse. So if you've seen my video on the backwards dialogue in Mortal Kombat Deception, it's pretty similar to that. It's also rumoured that Katsuhiro Harada voiced Ogre's dialogue, which was then reversed, and had some effects added to it, to make it sound less human and more computerised. Well, those are the best words I can use to describe it anyway. So if you're not familiar with Harada, well, he's probably one of the most famous faces in Tekken. He's been involved in the series since the very first game where he was a voice actor, and has since gone on to produce and direct many subsequent titles in the series. He's actually credited as a voice actor in the first 3 games in the series, so it's totally plausible that he recorded Ogre's dialogue. So anyway, the main point of this video is to discuss what Ogre is saying, once his dialogue has been reversed. Or unreversed, should I say. Although he has 4 win poses, one of his lines of dialogue is used for 2 of them, so there are 3 unique quotes in total. Here's the first. And when reversed, it sounds like this. Although there is some discussion around what Ogre is saying in all his lines of dialogue, there is probably the largest consensus around this first quote. It sounds like Ogre is saying, and forgive my Japanese pronunciation here, "Saru mo kikara ochiru." This roughly translates to "even monkeys fall from trees," or "even the monkey falls from the tree." This is a fairly common Japanese proverb or idiom, which means even experts can make mistakes. Very humble of you to say so, Ogre. Here's Ogre's second quote.
You win.
And here it is reversed. There is a bit of discussion around what is being said here. One idea is that he is saying Genchi Keisan, which translates to something like, "let's call it a day," or "let's call it here." The word Keisan on its own means dissolve or termination. Another idea is that Ogre is saying Gunichi Keisa, which translates to something like, "a lot has changed." But in context, I think the former is more likely. Ogre's third quote sounds like this.
You win.
And once again, here it is reversed.
You Kaiti Nina. Kaiti Nina. Kaiti Nina.
So it's likely that Ogre is saying something like Ka et Nina. Funnily enough, it almost sounds like he says I did Nina. Another well-known Tekken character's name, but you know, obviously that doesn't seem to be the case. Ka et Nina translates to something like go home, or go home and sleep, or even go home and go to bed. Another possible interpretation is Ka et Ina, which means something like you should turn back. And we also have the possibility that Ogre is saying Ka et Mina, which means return everyone. This interpretation is particularly interesting, as you could even call it an Easter egg. Tekken 3 featured a host of new characters to the series, such as Brian Fury and Jin Kazama. Many of the characters that were introduced in Tekken 2 did not return in this sequel, such as Bruce Irvin and Baek Do-san. And even characters from the original Tekken, such as Ganryu and Wang Jinrei. However, characters like these would subsequently return in later games in the series. First in the non-canon Tekken Tag Tournament, and then in canonical titles, such as Bruce and Baek both returning in Tekken 5. So if Ogre is indeed saying return everyone, then the game's creators are indicating that the rest of the previous game's cast will return in later titles. It would also make sense for Ogre to be saying this because the reason why many characters did not return from Tekken 2 to Tekken 3 is that Ogre was believed to have killed them and absorbed their fighting styles, which is why Ogre uses moves comprised from these characters, such as Wang Jinrei and, of course, Jun Kazama. So there we go guys, there we have the possible translations and interpretations of Ogre's dialogue in Tekken 3. I hope you found this video interesting, and if you have your own thoughts on what Ogre could be saying, please let me know in the comments. I don't speak Japanese myself, so I'd be keen to hear all your thoughts on this. Also, I should say that I've credited all the people who have translated Ogre's quotes thus far in the video's description. So thanks to everybody who's had a crack at this so far. Thanks for watching, and see you for the next one.